It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we've got the Beats Offensive Player of the Year. After his last...
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Here we go. Here we go.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, Griggs. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to take another shot here. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. On play action, they'll throw. And here he's got Grant. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. This will be caught inside the 10. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped.
Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other, and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover him. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. His 19th touchdown now on the season.
And the Beats get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. 5 plays there on that drive. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And this is going to be a Raiders first down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there, but how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And this is going to be a Raiders first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10.
And some space here. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
44 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. His throw incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Griggs. Caught here by Griggs. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the defense will get their hands on it. Going the other way.
Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players?
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
No, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it.
He's got him in. Complete. And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Second quarter now, it's Brooklyn in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. They give him a gain of 38.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play.
And it's caught. Touchdown. From 10 yards out.
And the Beats have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive, but at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer, and make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
And he's only hit 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big third down coming up.
To throw on third down. Griggs. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 61 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
And he's going to get this down near the 25. Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Off play action. Griggs. He finds his man, complete. That's Griffin. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Griggs. The open man is caught, complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Okay, right.
Here's Jacobs. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. From 4 yards out. And the Raiders are back within a score. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense.
And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November, but they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Back to throw again. Brought in over the middle by Grant. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there, with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Beats will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 21-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Here comes the offense again, and let's focus on Josh Jacobs for a moment. Now, the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along. Yeah,
they've been good with the run so far. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. And it's the Panthers who are out in front. Damian Pierce closing in on 100.
Halftime over, no problem with us. We skip right to the third quarter and continue this midseason contest. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, had he opted for the touchback. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
And they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
No nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered, because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
He'll take it at the 42. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Once again, it's Jacobs. He won't find a ton of space following the display of power as he's down just inside the 45. To throw on third down, Griggs. And that will be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 49-yard line. They'll look to throw. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Now it's 2nd and 9. Back to throw here. And that is caught. It's Davis. And he'll wind up getting this to the 32. A play that started at the 16, and that's how many yards they get. First down. They'll drop to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Able to shake him off. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. And you get the feeling, Charles, yeah, he's got the 2 sacks now, but he may get more here. We still got a quarter and then some to go.
And the way that he is playing this game, it reminds me of one of the best golfers in the world who can use every club in the bag and make a great shot. That's what he's doing with his pass rush moves right now, showing a little bit of everything. They have no way of stopping him.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Here's the option going left on 2nd down. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter play. Back now just east of Manhattan in Brooklyn, as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. This is caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Beats are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's going the other way. Down the left sideline. And I don't know that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
Throw left side. The ball comes out.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. He'll look to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Beats extend their lead, and they are about to get to a 9-2 record. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Griggs. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. The offense on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Off the play fake. Griggs. Wow, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch is taken here, a step or two inside the 45-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Looking to throw. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Rolling to his left. And it's caught. Touchdown. From 13 yards out. And the Beats are closing in on a 9th victory on the year as they extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Raiders now set to get the football back. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football. Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going. On 1st and 10, Griggs. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter. Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one. Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders. Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently. They'll set up to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Raiders are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense. You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Griggs. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Extra point forthcoming. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board. 22. Throwing on 1st down. Griggs. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far.
And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's second down. After the sack here, 2nd and 11. They'll look to throw here. Wide open receiver complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That one looks like he'll throw here.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
The quick slant caught, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
He's going to let it fly. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
And a fair catch taken here right at about the 40-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, and a lot of big grins, I think, from people and their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. It'll certainly help you come contract time.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. On play action, they'll throw.
He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be second and goal.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so you can only go so far outside. And they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they use your boy over there, the 12th man. Sammy sideline, right?
Sammy.
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the fourth, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better, and try and execute that on the way out the door, and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
We'll see if they go back to base.
But this game, it was well in hand early, never really in doubt. Charles, you and I do so